I'd like to call to order the December meeting for the Shandaken Town Board. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Board Member Alva? Here. Board Member Discipline? Board Member Storms? Here. Board Member Van Barton?
Here.
Supervisor Taylor?
Here. I'll entertain a motion to approve the previous town board meeting minutes.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Supervisor report, November 2018, revenues, zoning fees, $60, medical insurance reimbursement, $150.66, police fees, $30, ambulance fees, $1,916.02, town clerk fees, Easy Pass conservation, $223.83, justice fees, $11,844, building permit fees, $2,382, dog licenses, $153.50, ambulance donation, $425, planning fees, $300, water district and Phoenicia interest, 22 cents, Higley settlement, $59.49, registrar, $440, Phoenicia water rents, $30,000, highway revenue, $30,131.01 for a total of $78,115.73. Communications, I did not have time to draw up my usual monthly comments, but I can tell you, I'll just go through the resolutions that we have here tonight. Again, we have before the board the option of looking at a Shandaken septic maintenance district. We had a special meeting during mid-month regarding this. And basically, septic maintenance district means that CWC, DEP will be handing over a lump sum of money to Shandaken Town. The hamlet of Shandaken, which includes, it's delineated as 55 properties approximately around the intersection of Route 28 and 42. The monies that we receive will be utilized to replace or repair any septics within that district once it's formed. We're just going through the process of it now. The town board has committed itself to stating that there will be a public referendum in the hamlet of Shandaken to see if folks want to move forward with this. There is no cost to the district residents, and really it's a no-brainer. I'm going to hand over, maybe I could be corrected on this by somebody, but I think it starts out as $6.2 million?
$6,770,000.
$6.7 million. CWC, if it goes forward with the formation, CWC will contract with Lamont to do the work, because right now of the 55 properties, 29 properties needing repair or replacement. They will repair or replace those 29 properties at no charge to those residents, and the remaining funds will be turned over to the town for future repairs and replacements in that district. There was no fee to be charged or assessed against this district at the time. So, that's what the majority of the resolutions are. That's just beginning the process. We will have public hearings. I think we're setting for a public hearing January 20th or 21st or 27th. Where residents can come and make their concerns heard. The next issue is shared service agreement with the county. I know a number of people here are here regarding short-term rentals. Again, I will make this clear. The town at this point is not ready to move on making any regulation for short-term rentals. What we are doing is gathering data. Through that data gathering, we have asked the county for information that they've received regarding short-term rentals. In order for them to release it, we have to do this resolution for a shared service agreement for them to provide us that information. That's all we're doing right now is information gathering. So there's no regulation coming out of this resolution. This is simply for us to get the data from the county. We also have repairs that need to be done. We had a heater in the ambulance building that blew up a few weeks ago, and it's getting cold. We did plan on doing bids for repairs to the town-owned medic building in anticipation of medical services coming to that building, but those bids are going to have to be revamped in meeting with the doctors, people that they want other changes as well, aside from what we had first planned. Also to set our year-end meeting and set our reorganization meeting for January. Other than that, there's really nothing else going on.
events are listed on Channel 23. Ellen puts them up on our, network there through Spectrum Cable. And everything's also listed on our Facebook page as well as our website, which is shandaken.us. Taxes will be coming out at the end of the month. Don't shoot the messenger. You pay them in January, there's no interest. February is 1% and proceeds till June we collect taxes. And just to clarify, we don't ever collect school taxes. So we have a lot of people want to pay their school taxes. So, but it's going to be our turn in January, so you're going to get your Calhoun County taxes. And that's it. Check our website, check our Facebook page. If you haven't signed up for our alert system, now would be a good time. We have an alert system that can notify you of any events or emergencies in Shandaken, and we've used it about 8 times for major snowstorms, because if you live here, you know it snows, but anything over 6 inches that may be a risk of life or cause you major problems, we will send out either text, email, landline call, which a lot of our seniors really love, and you can just sign up on our website, shandaken.us. That's it.
And just a reminder, if you do have an emergency and you need somebody to call, please call 911 if it's really an emergency. Do not Facebook message us. That's not an appropriate outlet for getting emergency responded to. With that, we will move on to committee reports. Chief. Deputy Chief. I know, it's been a while.
Wow, really? This is a celebrity.
It's good to be back. November 2018 report for the Town of Shandaken Ambulance. Total calls received was 24. Mutual aid was given once. We did not receive any mutual aid into the town. Good evening. As the Thanksgiving holiday was devoid of calls of service for choking or a deep fryer in this house, it's assumed that everyone had a safe and happy Thanksgiving. As we particularly pay attention to those things that we are thankful for around this season, one thing is for certain, that despite some different opinions outside of our calls to duty as to how things may operate, the local fire departments, EMS, and police in our town provide an incredible service once the bell rings. No better exemplified on 27 November when our emergency workers were handed incredibly tough odds during an incredibly challenging fire in the hamlet of Peony. Incredibly heavy fire conditions upon arrival, limited manpower, water supply issues, and communications difficulties challenged our responders. However, in concert with our mutual aid partners, the fire was extinguished. Some priceless property was recovered for the homeowner, and above all else, no one got hurt. If that isn't something to be thankful for, I don't know what is. Now, as we usher in the season of giving, think about giving your time to your local emergency services agencies. God knows we need it. Make a New Year's resolution to volunteer at your local fire department. Challenge yourself to go to EMT class. Even join the local fire department auxiliary, who will most certainly prove their worth, ensuring that everyone involved this past incident had plenty of fluids and a hot meal to warm up with after fighting fire in extremely cold weather. In closing, please have a safe and happy holiday season, and be thankful for those that put their lives on the line every day to ensure the town of Shandaken is safe. Thank you.
Thank you. Just to add a little something, we advise that you probably should not take hot ashes from a wood stove or a fireplace and put them in a plastic bucket on your porch. Okay.
You know how the fire started?
Maybe.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, you want to read the police report, James? Oh, I'm sorry. Building and zoning? That was the next sheet I had.
Report for November 2018. This bracket here for department calls, building questions, and zoning questions. The phone rings so many times, and there's so many people in the office. I haven't found a neat way to take inventory of that. And also, my personal journal happened to disappear this month, so I lost all the records for the inspections that I've done. Hopefully, it'll turn up somewhere in town. But anyway, for this last month, we had 2 floodplain questions, 14 building permits were issued, 1 demolition permit, 1 floodplain permit, 3 certificates of occupancy, and 7 certificates of compliance. and the income for November was $1,180.
Thank you. And follow up, Faye, you had asked a question last month as to why Howie's report wasn't aligned with our report. The differentiation is that it's like a 2-month span between when Howie's reporting what he's done this month, but that won't go to us until after December 30th, goes through the town clerk, comes to us, so it comes to us as revenue. It's like 2 months after the fact. So we're trying to track it out better so that it looks better on paper, but that's basically what's happening. It's like a 2-month later.
Police report for November 2018, there was a total of 187 incidents, 13 arrests, and 5,708 miles traveled.
Phoenicia Water. Nobody told Rick the meeting was today? That's fine. Fine. Water, no report. Museum. See anybody from museum? And recreation.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, the Shandaken Parks and Rec Board moved ahead with getting a design for a potential skate park in Pine Hill over the summer. We have a finished design. It's a little bit over budget, so we're going back to redesign some things, but we are aggressively looking to fundraise within the next year. So if anybody has ideas for fundraising or wants to help out, please, you can give me a call or you can come by town hall.
With that, we'll move on to public comments on resolutions, regarding resolutions directly. So, Kerry, is this regarding the resolution?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Thanks. Yeah, it's regarding the
Kerry Henderson.
Kerry Henderson.
And where do you live?
Phoenicia. This is on the resolution about the shared service agreement with the county. I have a statement here from the Phoenicia Home Sharing Association. Many of the members are here tonight. So if you just bear with me, I'll just read this and you can have a copy, and it's just for the record. To the Shandaken Town Board, for the record, we the members of the Shandaken Home Sharing Association are requesting that any decision on the resolution authorising entering into an intermunicipal agreement for sharing of information regarding short-term rentals with County of Ulster be tabled to allow time for further consideration by the Town Board and Short-Term Rental Committee. Further, we are seeking representation on the Shandaken Short-Term Rental Committee. Members of our group have recommended and presented prospective committee representatives to the committee and have not received a response. Our association includes homeowners and local service providers, as well as other folks who benefit from our home sharing economy. Our home sharing association was formed to promote the myriad benefits of home sharing to our local community and tourist-driven economy, and to protect and enhance the rights of Shandaken homeowners. Shandaken is a tourist town, and SDRs have been a crucial part of our economy for well over 100 years, providing much-needed income to local people, including property owners, contractors, cleaners, property managers, restaurants and stores. We believe the existing short-term rental committee is unfairly balanced for the following reasons. 1, there are no representatives from the taxpayer sector the town is seeking to regulate. That's the short-term rental owners. And also we question the selection process of current committee members. So we're formally requesting that resolution, I won't read the whole thing, be tabled to allow time for further consideration by the board and SDR committee. 2, we're requesting proportional representation on the task force for the Shandaken Short-Term Rental Committee. 3, to be part of this procedure in order to ensure a fair and balanced process. 4, assurance that all Shandaken homeowners, that's full and part-timers, have the opportunity to participate in the survey which the STR committee plans to send out to property owners. And 5, the addition of questions written by our group to be included in the survey. And I won't read them now, but we have some sample questions that we would like added to the survey at the back. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Any other public comments on resolutions? Oh, Brian?
And also, I'm Brian Powers from Chichester. You know, Rob, at the beginning of this meeting, you said that the town, you have no intention of immediately looking, to institute any new regulations on the subject of short-term rentals. And I'm pleased to hear that, because my impression is that the way the town has been proceeding on this matter has been anything that has reflected anything but that perspective. I think essentially what appears to have happened to me is that, you've created a committee, you've hand-selected the members of that committee, you yourself are chairing it, and you, frankly, in my view, have been effectively the spokesperson for the Bel Air Lodging Association for as long as I've known you. Your worldview, your views of town affairs seem to dovetail perfectly with theirs, and I think that, the request that Kerry made to have the people who would be directly affected by any, proposed regulation was a very reasonable one. I mean, I think that these are the people, we are the people who are most directly affected or would be most directly affected by it. And, I feel like, this process has everything appears to me to have been fast-tracked at this point. And that is the impression that's the reason why this organization appears to be coming together. And, I'd like you to try to address that. I mean, we were here, I was present at the last meeting, the first public meeting that was held for that, for your committee, and I appreciated the fact that you were forthright and answered questions directly, but you also said some things that some of us found really troubling at that meeting. And, maybe people here want to talk about it, maybe they want to discuss it, maybe they want to talk about why, you seem to express the idea that, having short-term rentals within our hamlets is a terribly negative thing. That was the impression. You were ready to talk about doing different types of regulations for different zoning areas, for different zoning densities. I mean, these are complicated issues that all need to be aired out publicly. And, if you're going to send out questionnaires to the whole town on this subject, then I think, the formation of those questionnaires has to reflect the input of a lot of people and a lot of perspectives. Because we all know that when you send out a questionnaire, the responses you get back are the responses that you ask for. We all know how to do questionnaires that have, to reach a predetermined conclusion on a subject. And I think that, you've taken your attitude has been one that has concerned a lot of us. So, there we go.
All right. First off, Chuck, I want to address that, because again, I don't know where that idea is coming from, Brian. So we, as a town board, said planning board has heard of this issue, the building department has heard of this issue. We want to know whether we need to investigate. So I, as supervisor, suggested I'll take myself, one town board member, 2 members of our planning board, a member of the zoning board, and the building department, and put them on a committee to just start this process. That wasn't our first public meeting. That was our 3rd. Now, the reason you considered it public is because there were more STR renters that came here, or rental owners that came here. We ended up not having a quorum, and we had a very open discussion. I thought it was very candid, and I thought we were being very honest. To say that I suggested that we don't have, or we do this, or we do that, everything in that meeting was, I don't know. I'm saying, I don't know. Maybe somebody wants to regulate this. Maybe somebody sees it this way. We don't know what the answers are going to be. But you have to ask those questions. Again, the questions we've been having through the committee or through the planning boards or the zoning boards. Do you allow it in a certain zone and not allow it in a certain zone? I mean, these are the same conversations that are going on in towns all across America. In Woodstock, they're doing the same thing. So for me to pose that question is to say, we want to put in a survey, do you want to see these things taking place in an R15 or an R3 or in every zone or just commercial zones? I'm not suggesting what the answer is. I'm saying that's what one of the questions will be in that survey when we send it out. And it's only fair to ask that question, to say, here's all the zones, where do you think it should be allowable? You came to me at the end of the meeting and said you found it funny that we were going after short-term rentals. And I said, we're looking into it right now, so we're compiling data, we're trying to get information. I know a number of people I've spoken to on several occasions about this, that we're trying to get all the information we can before we go forward with anything. Again, right now at this point, I don't have anything written, there's no draft regulation. We've been looking all over the place at different things. We're trying to get a questionnaire together, that's all. We're trying to be fair about it. Now to say that town board members, planning board members, zoning board members aren't the people to be looking at this question, we are the people that are being posed these questions right now. When the complaint comes in, and again, I know you say, you guys, a lot of you out there are like fabulous STR owners, but there's that one or two. I had 2 people come to me this weekend and say they specifically bought a house to put it up on Airbnb, knowing that they would never live in the house. It's their second home up here. So this is an issue that we feel might need to be addressed. We want to make sure we get a handle on it, because if we start losing our housing stock, the scale will just tip, and we need to know what the numbers are, and the only way to know those numbers is to ask the questions. This resolution tonight is really for us. Now, I know some people had issue with the language of the wording of it. Talk to county. County hands us these things and says, here's the resolution you need to pass in order for you to do a shared service agreement. County had a meeting, and I know a number of short-term rental people were there at that meeting, and they said, we've collected data, we have this website engineer company, whatever, that are scouring all these short-term rental sites to compile data. Well, in order for us to get a look at that data, they're requiring us to do this resolution, to get that data. That's all this is about. That's really all it's about.
Where's the resolution? I mean, where's the document? I see where the resolution is. Where's the
What do you have to give in return?
If we
don't
decide
know
to
what's in the
agree,
interest,
okay. If we decide to regulate, county has asked that we give them information back as to who is permitted to operate a short-term rental within the community. And many of you said that once you heard county was coming, or you got a letter from county, you were more than happy to provide them the 2%, and that's all they're looking to get. So if we do regulate and we get information where people are registering their business here, then they just want us to reciprocate and give that information back to them so they can get their 2% in their bed tax. That's all it pertains to. It's all it is. They're not telling us to regulate because they don't regulate. The county doesn't impose zoning law. We are a home rule state. We do it from here. Lastly, at the end of the meeting, you came to me and said about the numbers. And you go, well, it looks like it's only like 128 properties according to the county. That's what the county had presented us. I don't know, because we're not looking at that data to know if we can corroborate whether it's that many, more or less. In the same respect, I'm thinking back to a couple of years ago when the town was got embroiled in a huge lawsuit. Do you remember what it was about? Farm stands.
Yeah.
We had one, and we had a huge lawsuit. Here we're looking at 128 properties, possibly more or less, and we may be looking to regulate, and you're going to question
You're talking about the
why we would look at it.
liability issues, right?
Now, I'm saying, why would we look at it? There we were forced to look at an issue because of one singular operation outside of the norm. This is essentially outside of the norm right now. We're trying to get a handle on it, and that's all we're doing. Again, for us to do our jobs properly, we need information. But if you're saying don't get that information and just go willy-nilly into the night, that's not the way it's going to work. We're going to end up with something that's not going to work for everybody. And we're trying to be fair in this process, but it's the aggressiveness that we're getting and almost harassment at times by some people that are coming at individuals when we're out and about. Like, I understand, we're public officials, we can be addressed, but at the same time, allow us some time to gather the data and start putting information out there. I have never withheld anything from Kerry or Amy or James. You guys have come to me, talked to me, and I've been pretty forthcoming about the information. So I don't like where your accusations are going from. Chocolate,
my statement has only to, I don't have any disagreement with anything that they said other than the need to table the resolution. As far as I can see, I've read the resolution, and the resolution is only asking for information. In order to make an intelligent decision, if you don't look at all the information, you can either overlook something or you can opt to ignore it. But I think that's foolish in this particular case, where if the county has information that may be beneficial to us making a decision, Why are we not going to entertain that?
Well,
I would only
can I
have
try
one
and
question. This is to enter into an inter-county, interagency municipal agreement. What if you were to FOIL that information in a FOIL request? Could they deny it?
No.
I mean, so
Oh,
do
you
you
mean the
have
county?
to? Yes.
I don't know, because the way they're laying it out is that it's proprietary information, because they have a contractual agreement with this company to receive that data.
So, but again, the only disagreement that I have, I with everything that was said, I can appreciate where they're coming from, but I don't see the need to table the resolution at this point if it's only to gather more information. You need the information
Can
to
I
make
just
an
try and
intelligent
clarify that,
decision.
Chuck? I'd just like to try and clarify the reason.
Yes.
Brian, please address the board.
I'm sorry.
I'm done. Thank you.
We were only asking look, you've come with a resolution asking for, the town board's permission to have you negotiate or sign a document with the county. What we're saying is we haven't seen the document from the county. We don't know what this agreement looks like. And there may be things in that agreement that would compel the town to do certain things. The county may have said, in exchange for providing the information, we are going to require that you place in effect certain types of regulations. We don't know because we haven't seen it, Rob. You presumably have seen it, but we haven't.
I have it downstairs.
And the town board hasn't. Sorry, yes.
Oh, you have it
I have it
downstairs?
downstairs. I don't even have it with me right now.
So what I'm asking is, we want to know what's in the agreement before we're suggesting it's appropriate that the town actually sign on to it. Nobody objects to the sharing of data. My God, if the county has a good way to collect the information and share it with the town, first of all, they could share it with you with or without an intermunicipal agreement. They could just give it to you because they have it and here's the data. So,
No, they won't. And I'll tell you again, the folks that were at the meeting with Ken Purnell